All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another broadcast of the Ebony Star Network. I am Max Black, host of the Maximum Overdrive Third Gear. I'd like to say hello to everybody. Peace to the Ebony Star Nation. I'm sorry, not the Ebony Star Nation, the Earthen Nation. We are a part of the Ebony Star Network. Team Black Star, Team Black Queen. We have some things to talk about. We have a lot to catch up on. As you guys know, I've been on the road for the past couple of months. I am now home relaxing, and I'm getting ready to do a stream and spend some time with you today. Shout out to E Nation Lady Belmort. What's going on? As a matter of fact, while I'm here, I want to stress a few things about what we are about over here at the Earthen Nation. You know, and to reassure one of our ladies, our sisters, know what we are all about. We are about over here at the Ebony Star Network. We are about positive relations between black men and black women. Okay. Over here, you will not find black men and black women bickering and fighting. You will not find black men over here starting trouble with the sisters, coming into the chat room, starting fights, blaming black women for everything under the sun and not taking responsibility for their own actions and being men. Now, you won't find that over here because that's not what we are about. We don't promote that nonsense over here. So I'm asking those of you who are looking for trouble, who just want to bicker and fight with each other, who emotionally cannot get out of your own way, please keep it moving. We are not your dumping ground, okay, for your own misery. We are not your meeting place for BS. We're not into gender wars over here. We don't hate our black sisters, and we don't hate our black men over here. So please don't come over here with any baggage or garbage that you've got somewhere else and try to dump it into our chats. Because if we see it, we're going to get that mess and you out of here. Because that's not what we're about. And that's not what the Earthen Nation is about. We are positive black people. We're promoting positive and healthy relationships between our black sisters and our black brothers. And we're trying to build a nation to where we can love each other rather than hate each other, work together and be unified as people and grow and become someone to be reckoned with in this world. It takes 60,000 people to be recognized as a nation. It's going to take some time. But if we keep at it and we keep growing and we keep getting the message out and people keep coming together, eventually we'll get there. But I just wanted to reiterate that because it seemed like some people have forgotten what we are about. Okay? We're not a shit show. We're not a place where you can dump your emotional baggage because you hate men or you hate women. Okay? That's not what we're about. Now, we don't mind taking in sisters who've been hurt. Okay? And, they're having some issues and they want to blow off some steam and they want to try to get themselves right. We got no problem with that. Your sisters are welcome. But what we do have a problem with is that you're not trying to see what we're doing, and you're not trying to become positive, and you're not trying to become better, and you're not growing. You're not allowing that hatred to leave your heart, and you want to keep that hatred and that meanness over here and spread it over here. We won't allow that, okay? We will get you up out of here. So we have several shows on the Ebony Star Network. We're building the Ebony Star Network to be a self-efficient unit to where it can grow on its own without help from anyone else. We're starting to fill the Ebony Star Network with shows as we get the people to man these shows. Okay. one of our latest shows that we're coming out here pretty soon. I'll talk about it briefly. I'm going to talk about it more on Ladies' Night, Saturday night. So, but first, before I get started, shout out to the E Nation peoples, Belmort, Kitty Conjo, my dude, what's going on? Emmanuel Briggs. Glad to see you with a wrench, brother. Finally, man, somebody gave you a wrench. Malika Lindsay, what's going on? Glad to see you guys. Okay, hold on one second. And so we all going through this COVID-19 thing, and people are stuck in the house and things like that. And, as Black people, we should be using this time positively to get closer to our mates. It's about loving each other now. It's not about hating each other. We are all we got, and trust you, me, we are on our own, especially during COVID-19. These white folks are crazy out here. They're doing the same things that they did before. They're just wearing a mask now. They're out there wearing the mask, still calling cops on Black people for no reason. Cops are out there wearing masks, still choking brothers out. Okay? Nobody cares about us. When are we going to understand that? So fighting amongst ourselves, tearing each other down, is only helping those people who don't care about us. It's only going to help them speed up the process of removing us. That's all it's going to do. Now, you can sit here and not care about that. That's your prerogative. But I do care about that. Okay? I'm not going to continue to be fighting back and forth with my brothers and sisters, knowing that we all we have. Okay? If you think they care about us, why don't you just look around? Look at the news. They show you every single day how they feel about us, how they feel about our children, how they feel about you and I. And if you just don't get it now, you'll never get it. Okay? This is the time for us to unify, and that's what we're trying to use this space for. So if you're one of them broken people that can't seem to get it together and don't want to have anything to do with getting better or healing, please do that somewhere. We ask you to do that somewhere else. Don't bring that over here. We hate to turn our brothers and sisters away. We don't want to turn our brothers and sisters away. We want to help as many brothers and sisters as we possibly can to unify. But we're not going to allow someone to come in here and tear it up for everyone else. Okay? We're not going to allow that. So if you into that hoofly and BS about this and that about the Black woman and this and that about the Black man, keep that shit moving. Now, I know I come in here and I rail against derelict Negroes because I love my Black women. I see my Black women go through shit all the time. Okay? I talk about how we supposed to do things as Black men, how we supposed to have our act together. And it's not about what the sisters are doing. The sisters are going to follow our lead if we're leading properly. So this is why I get on the brothers. Okay? This channel is devoted to loving our Black sisters, loving our Black people, period. Okay? And not destroying or tearing each other down. Okay? Nah, we don't agree with no sissy bims, no manosphere. We ain't involved with none of that. Okay? We're not going to sit up here time and time again and talk to you about how bad our sisters are doing. How about how bad these brothers are doing? How bad we doing as Black men? We're losing out here. We're a laughing stock. How come no one is concerned about that? I keep hearing about, the Black woman has an attitude. Well, the Black man don't have an attitude. Dude, you losing out here. How come you don't have an attitude? How come you don't have an attitude about losing? And you got brothers running around here who are okay with losing. Perfectly fine with losing. Hey, I'm a loser. Ain't it cool? Losers. walking around here losing. They're okay with it. How are you okay with being a loser and you're pointing the finger at someone else? If you are a loser and you walking down the street and you trip over a rock and fall and bust your ass, you can't blame that rock for being there because you are a loser. If you are taking a shower and you're singing in the shower and you fuck around and miss a note, drop the soap and fall out of the shower and bust your ass, you can't point the finger at the soap. You can't point the finger at losing the note because you're a loser. See, losers don't get to point fingers. Losers don't get to say, hey, it's your fault. You don't get to do that. You don't get to sit up here and talk about black women because you're a loser. You're losing. You are a loser. You don't get to point any fingers. You're not achieving anything. You are losing everything. Got brothers up here comfortably making live streams, comfortable with being a loser. I mean, you guys are making a culture out of losing, making it acceptable to be losers. Look at these sissy bims. A large group of losers who are comfortable with being a loser. You know, there was a saying in a movie called 300, right? Where Leonidas said that he'd rather die on his feet than live on his knees. These brothers have reversed that. They rather live on their knees than die on their feet. So you're walking around here, well, crawling around here with your knee pads on, with your loser mentality, comfortable in all of your losing ways. Talking about somebody. I mean, have you guys gone crazy? Seriously, have you gone crazy? You are losing in the real world, on the real stage, in real time. You are losing. Let me say that one more time. You are losing in the real world, on the real stage, in real time, amongst real people. You are losing. Everybody is winning but you. You weak ass sissy bims with your 8th grade tuxedos that you're taking portraits, pictures in, trying to give your best profile with your 8th grade tuxedo. Out here talking about you are select. How are you select in a 8th grade tuxedo that you have seen to outgrown? So you're in your 8th grade tuxedo talking about you're select and saying crazy things like, black women choose bad boys or black women choose bad men like you're a good man. Well, how are you? Wait a minute. What's good about being 30 years old, walking around taking pictures in an 8th grade tuxedo? You see, there's all kinds of things psychologically wrong with that. See, I guess you didn't get involved in black culture. Many of you don't seem to understand what a haircut is. You know, you don't have a Gumby S curl. How the hell are you wearing a Gumby S curl? You got sissy big Negroes taking pictures with 8th grade tuxedos wearing Gumby S curls. Who is your inspiration? Stoney Jackson? So let's back this up. We're in the real world in real time around real people, and you're losing, but you're pointing fingers at other people, especially black women. Again, if you are a loser, you don't get to point fingers at anything. So you got your 8th grade tuxedo on, you're a 40-year-old man with your 8th grade tuxedo and your bow tie. So you're 40 years old wearing your 8th grade tuxedo, which you can no longer fit. You've had tailored. Your 8th grade tuxedo, your bow tie, your Gumby S curl. Talking about your select. To who? Who you select to? So you're sitting here and you're saying it's the black woman's fault that you are somehow screwed up and that you are a loser. No, that's not correct. It's not her fault you're a loser. It's your fault you're a loser. Now I tried to stay away from this morning. I was going to talk about something else, but it's hard not to talk about you losers. See, many of you are grown men with all kinds of issues. This is why you want to dox people. You have insecurities about being a man. You're mad at the world because you can't look in the mirror and you don't feel that comfort of being a man. See, when you look in the mirror, you don't feel like you're a man. So you need to blame everybody for it. You got to blame everybody and their mama for it. Especially the black, oh, it's the black woman's fault. I'm not a man. It's the black woman's fault that I walk around here in a powder puff, sky blue, 8th grade tuxedo with a pink bow tie and a Gumby S curl, talking about I'm select. Man, that thinking is out of pocket, bro. You walking around in some ruffled, powdered blue suede, corduroy, 8th grade tuxedo with a pink bow tie, and the pants on that tuxedo is high watered with orange socks and some Michael Jackson moonwalking shoes and a shirt with ruffles on them and a Gumby S curl. Who the fuck wears a Gumby S curl? Eddie Kane Jr. from the Five Heartbeats? Nigga is in 2020 doing COVID-19 wearing a Gumby S curl. A Gumby. Somebody look up the Gumby hairstyle. Gumby. Nigga wearing a Gumby. A Gumby S curl. And the kind of S curl that you got to carry around a bottle of activator. Some old Stoney Jackson's Soul Glow type shit. Talking about they select. Blaming black women. Man, this shit is getting old, man. Why do we have to keep doing it? Why do we have to continue to have these types of discussions? When are we going to talk about your misdeeds as black men? When are we going to talk about your unwillingness to do anything about anything for anything? You guys don't want to do anything. You don't want to be responsible for anything at all. So what are you going to do? Walk around here and hold your breath next? So we're going to have a bunch of sissy bims and 8th grade tuxedo Gumby wearing niggas holding their breath until they can't hold no more. They're going to be like, man, I got to keep holding my breath because of the black woman. Black woman won't let me breathe, so I got to keep walking around here holding my breath. So you walking around here holding your breath with your powder puff, power girl suit on, talking about the black woman won't let you breathe. That's coming next. You know, I sat up here and I thought about a few things. I said, man, Max, maybe you're overlooking something about these brothers. Maybe these brothers do have some potential. Maybe these brothers do want to do something, right? Shout out to Royal Knight, Hassan Burton, E-Nation, brother. Me and Mr. Burton sits here. We sit here time and time again and hear all of this whining and all of this weakness. Sometimes we conversate in Discord about how weak these niggas are. You see, because me and Hassan Burton, we're pretty much from the same background. We're almost we sit here. Sometimes we look at these niggas and we just can't believe what we're hearing. Shout out to B1 for life. I don't understand how, as a man, how do you not care about yourself, like your image? You don't care about how people see you. You don't care about what people say. I mean, to get on these live streams and talk about these Beckys the way you do. You have no shame. You have no shame whatsoever. And you think the rest of us supposed to go along with you praising Becky, who's out here getting you choked out. When she's done with you, what she do is she calls her man who wears a legal badge and a gun, and he comes and chokes you out on TV. See, that's what Becky does for you. And shout out to Cynthia G. Y'all gonna leave Cynthia G alone. That's my sister. Y'all don't understand where she's coming from. Y'all need to listen deeper to what she's saying. Since you niggas want to come to the defense of all of these Beckys, why should the black woman come to your defense when Becky gets you smoked? Why? That's a legitimate question. Why? Why should the black woman waste her time after you done sat up here, called her all kinds of names, said that you wouldn't protect her? She can't even get being pregnant because if she's pregnant, you're gonna start calling her all kinds of fat bitches and lard asses and whales and shit. I sat here and heard brothers call a pregnant black woman all kinds of shit. She need to get her fat ass in the car. Her fat ass this, her fat ass that. Dude, she's pregnant. I don't give a fuck. Her fat ass, her lard ass, her whale ass. Call this woman who was pregnant with child all kinds of names. And then when Becky calls her man, who's a monster, by the way, that white man's a monster. See, that's why you're afraid of him, you see, because you're afraid of monsters. You know the boogeyman, when you were little, used to hide under the bed and shit, scared of the monster. Well, that's Becky's man. You the boogeyman. So you sit here and you routinely disrespect black women, call black women all out their name and all kinds of shit, saying that you ain't gonna never protect them, and it's black female fuckery, and it's and the black woman needs to be disciplined and all that. So we're gonna get to the discipline part too. I heard that. I thought that was a crack of shit. Now, you saying all of these things, but when Becky gets tired of you and she calls that boogeyman on your ass, then who are you turning to? Right? And when that boogeyman chokes one of you punk ass niggas out and you lose your life like some pitiful insect or I mean some pitiful insignificant insect or you know stray animal in the street, the black woman is supposed to shed tears now after you done called her all kinds of names, done shit on her, done spit on her, told her that she can take a long walk off a short cliff and she's a whale because she's pregnant with a child, all kinds of fat bitches, and she's a government dissident, all these terrible things. So now she's supposed to come and drop all that shit and put up some kind of candlelight visual for you and sit up here and take up donations and say how good of a black man you were and all this other bullshit, knowing all the damn time you were not that kind of black man. Why should black women come running to your rescue? And who said you were a black man? See, after you done jump ship, your black privileges have been provoked. See, I agree with a lot of Cynthia G stuff. I love Cynthia G. Shout out to Cynthia G if she listening. One day, I hope she come up on the show and bless us with her presence. I love that black sister. And y'all need to leave her alone. Y'all gonna leave her alone. Like I said, you need to listen to what she's saying. You guys are getting all emotional and bent out of shape. You're not listening to what she's saying. You need to pay attention to think about what she's saying. Why should a black woman shed a tear for you worthless ass niggas who've shown nothing but disrespect, discontent? Half of you motherfuckers are on here hollering about how much you hate your black mothers. You understand what I'm saying? You hate your black mothers. talking about black women are the least desired. First of all, that's that's Western rhetoric. Real black men aren't walking around here talking about black women are the least desired. That's racist rhetoric. You guys are involved heavily in this racist talking point type shit. Even though COVID-19, the white man ain't trying to hear about you cooning now. He picking you coons off now. Oh, that's right. You'd rather live on your knees than die on your feet. Well, hell, you dying on your knees too. I don't know if you got the memo, but this COVID-19, the white man don't need any more coons. The coon business has been shut down. Go on and take back your Bojangles shoes. Go take them back to the Bojangles store, get your money back, and go buy yourself some dignity. I agree with you, Mr. Briggs. That's right. Black women don't have any business supporting derelict niggas that hate her. If you hate her, you don't want to have nothing to do with her, and she a piece of shit, and she a fat ass, and all this other stuff, then keep it moving. Don't expect her to shed a tear when you get smoked by that pale boogeyman. When the pale boogeyman comes and gets one of you, don't expect us to be on some, man, that was another black man down. Nuh-uh. That's white on white crime. We ain't got shit to do with that. If you a coon and you praising Becky and you hating black women and you got all these white talking points going, that's white folk business. When you get choked out, we ain't got shit to do with that. As far as I'm concerned, that's just white folks taking care of one of their own. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You left us a long time ago. So if any one of you sissy bims, unfortunately, meet your untimely end by one of these pale boogeymen, I can't do nothing for you, man. You ain't black. So what does that got to do with me? What does that got to do with us as black people? You're not black. White folks, those are your people. You've already explained that to us. We had one of your people coming here, Mr. SKC, has already explained to us that he is disconnected from the black community. So if you're disconnected from the black community, you don't have nothing to do with us. Why should we mourn when you get smoked by one of the pale boogeymen? I keep telling you dumbass Negroes with these groups that the safest place for you to be is around your own people, but you won't listen. You think you're safe when you're going around the pale boogeyman and his people. Not safe. Matter of fact, that's when you're in danger the most. They sure do. That's when you're in the most danger. The safest place for you to be is around your people. I live around my people. I'm not afraid of my own people. I love my people, dude. I not understand that we have some issues in the hood? Sure, we do. Every neighborhood has its issues, even the so-called quiet ones. There's crime that goes on in every neighborhood across this country, even the so-called rich neighborhoods. They got their shit going on over there too. You think crime and murder don't happen in rich neighborhoods? Sure it does. You just don't see it, but it happens. You think people with money don't commit crimes or don't get crimes committed against them? As a matter of fact, the people in this country with the most money are committing most of the crimes. It's just that the people who are getting caught are the people who don't have the money. They don't have the power to pay high priced lawyers, overpowered lawyers to get them out of trouble. You just had some crazy white boy get in the car and mow people down. But because his family is rich, he got off. Hell, people with a lot of money commit some of the worst crimes you've ever seen, but got the money to get out of it. So getting back to what I was saying, um, I didn't plan on going down this road. I was going to talk a little bit about gangster talk, but it seems like I can't help myself when it comes down to these derelict Negroes, because I'm sick and tired of them always pointing the finger at black women and don't want to take a look at themselves. You see, we don't have discussions about what black men aren't doing. And most of the men who are on here pointing fingers at black women are the ones who aren't doing anything. That's why they're pointing fingers. They think getting on YouTube and arguing back and forth, they call that progress. They call that a build, even though they don't have any tools to build anything with. They call arguing back and forth building. So basically, you can get on here as one of these worthless Negroes, have an argument for an hour or two on a panel, and get off of there, and you're satisfied with that. You've achieved nothing. But because somebody said great build, you think you've done something productive. That's why I don't watch these debates anymore, because they're useless. All they do is consume time, and they're very distracting. You get caught up in Negroes being worthless. That's all these debates are. They're worthless, they're endless, and they don't accomplish anything. There is no pot of gold at the end of the debate. Hell, half the time, they can't even determine a damn winner. In a debate, somebody's supposed to be a clear winner and a clear loser. Hell, they can't even do that. And we get caught up in this nonsense, this culture of unproductive Negroes who are online debating each other like there's something really going on. I mean, we get caught up in it, man, like, man, we're about to see something spectacular. So-and-so is getting ready to go up against so-and-so. And then when you see so-and-so go up against so-and-so, at the end of it, nothing happens. That's it. Nothing. These debates are worthless. Nothing comes out of these debates. You have a lot of failed academics, people who couldn't make it in life academically. Maybe they graduated magna cum laude, lost their mind, couldn't get a job, they're out of work, and all they do is read books because they don't know how to do anything else. And they come on YouTube and they find their niche with their long, extensive vocabularies. They do book reports and they do research and they get online and they spit at each other like peacocks. Failed academics, always talking about research, always talking about how smart they are. Well, if you're a failure in life, how smart are you? See, you can get on here and you can say all of the $25 words you want to. You can create some fanciful rhetoric that sounds nice and far out. You know, that scootily wah wah type shit. You know, how they get on here talk about, they use terms like frequency and vibration. Ooh, deep. But you see, none of that really applies in real life. This is why these people are on YouTube begging for cash apps and stuff like that, because they are failures in real life. That's why they're on YouTube. Many of them have gone to school and have spent 4 and 5 years studying BS. And they realize that at the end of the situation, that this is a cold-blooded, vicious world. And that they don't have what it takes to make it with the big boys and the big girls, right? They're too fragile mentally. They're too fragile emotionally. But they know all of these big words that they can't put to use. So what do? They come on YouTube and they create debate leagues so they can feel like someone. Because they can't compete. They can't cut it in real life. Let me tell you something. I run the business. It's hard out here. Business is cold-blooded and vicious. You got to have some dog in you to be successful in real life at business. And I'm very successful. I don't have a business degree. I learned everything the hard way on my own, fighting people who are absolutely cold-blooded, people who will work you to death and wouldn't give a damn whether you got a rent cent out of it. People who are perfectly fine with you working 7 days a week and not making one dime. As a matter of fact, will be on your ass about how much money you owe them. See, that's what the real world is like. And when you're out there and you're working, and people are taking and taking, and you don't know how to stop them, and you go and you look into your Rolodex of all of these large words, and you start using them, and you realize that they are ineffective. Because you see, you're not dealing with another book, you're dealing with a real person who's absolutely vicious and don't give a damn about you, your vocabulary, the school you come from. All they give a fuck about is their bottom line. I'm not saying that you can't go out and learn big words. Fine. Do all of that. But don't come on here and try to make it sound like you some kind of god of education. You some kind of know-it-all. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't pay attention to any of these debates because they are about nothing. They don't accomplish anything. All they do is feed the people who have failed out here in academics because they have realized that when you come into this real world, you deal with real people in real time. Okay? And it's not easy. And I've heard some of you can't make it out here. I already know it. Just for some of the stuff I've dealt with right here in my life in business, I can tell a lot of you guys can't cut it. That's why you're on here and you stream every day, because this is all you got. You're trying to convince other people that you're six-figure niggas and all this other bullshit. First of all, six figures, man. That six figures a day, that's not much money. Now, that might keep you afloat in some places. In some places, that's not living comfortable at all. Some places, that's just getting by. In some places, it's a little comfortable. But I don't fuck around with these debates because they're about nothing. And like I said, it's a situation where we get lulled to sleep and we think that these debates are going to bring us something. They're somehow going to change something, and they don't. We get caught up in it. So anyway, let's get on to what we are doing over here at the Ebony Star Network. We got some new things. We also got Ebony News. We got E-News, to where we'll be talking about Black news, what's going on in our Black communities. We'll be putting them on our E-News server. We also got a new show coming out that we're developing called Gangsta Talk. Now, I'm going to touch on it a little bit. I will explain it in great detail this Saturday on Ladies' Night. Okay, but Gangsta Talk is a new show we got coming. And basically what Gangsta Talk is about is, you've heard people say that they want to keep it gangster. Well, in our communities, we have a lot of so-called gangsters, street people, the Pookies and Ray Rays, right? Well, they get shunned a lot. They don't get looked at as respectable people who possess strong intellect. Well, many of them do. I mean, Jay-Z come from Marcy Projects. Isn't he like a billionaire now? Master P come off the streets of New Orleans. These are street people. These are your Pookies and Ray Rays. Nas. These are street gangsters. 50 Cent. These are street gangsters. Okay? These people are highly intelligent. Ice Cube. So we have a lot of intelligent people that come out of these streets who got that gangster swag, who got that gangster vernacular. But because they have that, they're not looked at in society as desirable. They're being shunned. So Gangsta Talk is going to be a platform for them to be who they are. They don't have to worry about being politically correct. They can just be themselves, and we can share their brilliant ideas spoken in their own way. Also, what we're doing with Gangsta Talk, you see, the way we spell it Gangsta. We took the ER off the end because we believe that the ER represents violence. Well, the STA to us represents excellence and progress. So when we have the graphics coming up for Gangsta Talk, you're going to see a brother in the hoodie with a black power fist on the back inside of a star. You're going to see a roll of books at the bottom, because gangster, the way we're seeing it, is that we're taking the violence out of it and we're replacing the violence with productivity. Okay, we're going to make it cool to be intelligent. It's going to be gangster to be intelligent. It's going to be gangster to be a doctor. It's going to be gangster to be a lawyer. It's going to be gangster to be all of these cool things. We're going to change the meaning of it. We're going to take the violence out of it. Okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to go more in detail on Ladies' Night this Saturday night. Okay? Also, the Black Power Nation, okay, will be coming soon. We're starting a new nation. We're going to have two nations that's going to work in conjunction with each other. The E Nation is going to be working closely with the Black Power Nation. The Black Power Nation is for our so-called undesirables, our gangsters, our street gangsters, our Pookies and Ray Rays, our black people who practice black culture in its purest form. If you're still running around here with an Afro pick with a fist on it in your hair, join the Black Power Nation. You still on that Huey P. Newton shit, join the Black Power Nation. You gangster, you street gangster, join the Black Power Nation. The Black Power Nation, that's who we're building it for. And the Black Power Nation and the E Nation are going to work hand in hand as one unit. See, we're not throwing none of our people away. We're going to find a way to utilize all of our black people. Our so-called eggheads, intellects, Pookies, Ray Rays, all of them. We're going to use all, we need all of our black people. We're not trying to see none of our black people undesired. So Gangsta Talk and the Black Power Nation is a way for our so-called undesirables to represent who they are and be comfortable and have a voice. So that's what the Black Power Nation is all about. Like I said, I'm going to go into great detail on Ladies' Night. Okay, the Black Power Nation will be represented by a black fist inside of a gold star. Also, we'll be premiering on Gangsta Talk. Gangsta Talk, we're hoping that it will be hosted by Lucy. A lot of y'all know who Lucy is. Okay. Right now, she is the current host of Gangsta Talk. All right. And so, if anybody know Lucy, you know it's going to be fire. Okay. And so, I'm sorry about the the Patreon. I've been very busy, but I'm going to start paying attention to the Patreon for any of you Patreon members. I'm sorry. I've been very busy building this network, but I am going to start paying attention to Patreon. We're going to start uploading and fixing Patreon and getting things going for our Patreon members. Okay, we haven't forgotten you. Sorry about that, but we've been trying to build this nation and build this network. But we will start working on Patreon soon. Patreon going to have some very interesting things on it. I got a surprise for the Patreon members. And it's only going to be on Patreon. It will be nowhere else. Okay? You're going to be privy to something that nobody's never done before. Okay? And when we do it, every time we do it, it's only going to be uploaded on Patreon. It's going to be exclusive to our Patreon members. So we got some stuff coming for Patreon too. Okay? So if you are the Patreon member, go ahead and join the Patreon. If you're gangster, you're street, or if you're both, you can join the E Nation and the Black Power Nation. You can join both nations, no matter, because we're working together as one unit anyway. Okay? So Gangsta Talk and the Black Power Nation is going to be that platform in that area for our young people, our gangster, our street people to express their creativity, not their violence. See, we're going to remove the violence, and we're going to replace the violence with productivity and black excellence. See, we have a lot of engineers running around in the hood, a lot of mathematicians running around in the hood, but we don't know about them because they keep getting called undesirables. They keep getting called bad people because of the way they express themselves. Well, we're going to stop all of that. We're going to give them a platform to let them express themselves. And we're going to tap into that intellect, that raw intellect, that creativity, that ability that they have. So they can show to the world how smart they are, how super intelligent that they really are. and that it don't mean anything because you have a $250,000 vocabulary versus a person that has a $25 vocabulary. That don't mean anything. It's about your want to and your desire and your determination. One second, people. Give me 1 second here. I have to refresh. And so the news streams, Bell, coming to the Ebony Star Network once we start getting more people. And yeah, we need more people, man. We need to start working, people. If we're going to build this thing, if we're going to do this thing right, you want to be a part of something that's going to produce. You want to be a part of something that's going to help out people, something that you're going to like, something that you're going to enjoy when you come on social media. Okay? We need help building these nations. So when we start putting out our Discord, join these Discords. Come in, talk to us. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what you want to help us do. We got a lot of things that we need to do. We got things that we need people to do for us to help build this nation. Okay? To help get this thing going. All right? We got 40 people right now. We need more. There are things that we want to do. We want to turn this space into a space to where Black people can be comfortable, where you can learn something, to where you can make money, to where you can grow, to where you can educate yourself. That's what we want to do with this space. Okay? And so, don't want to step on the toes of Ladies Night. Check out Ladies Night with Vonda. They'll be doing the episode of Let's Talk About Sex. And I will be on there and I will be going in deeper about the Black Power Nation and the new Gangsta Talk show. And we should have the graphics ready by then. So we'll unveil the graphics of the Gangsta Talk show on Ladies Night. And Lucy should be there. Okay. She will be the host of Gangsters Talk. So she'll probably have a few things to say about how she's going to have the show lined up. All right. So I'm about to get out of here. I want to thank everybody from tuning in with me today, hanging out with the Black Knight. And again, I will see you guys on Ladies Night this Saturday, and we will be premiering Gangsta Talk. And we will be telling you what it's all about. We will go in on it in depth and break it down. So if anybody has questions about it, you can ask us there. We'll be more than willing to answer all your questions. And we will be talking about the Black Power Nation. That's coming to the server soon. All right. So I want you people, my Black people, to stay safe during this COVID-19 thing. We have. It's time for us to understand that we have to help each other. And if they are against us, then they are our enemies. If you have Black men going out here worshiping Becky's, then they are our enemies. And no, Black women shouldn't be shedding a tear for them. And shout out to Cynthia G. Y'all gonna leave Cynthia G alone. Shout out to Cynthia G. Shout out to Bell Mort, Hassan Burton, and everybody in the E Nation. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna say peace, power, unity, everybody. And I'll see you again on Ladies Night this Saturday night. Peace, power, and unity.